Okay, I wanted to give a quick shout out to my buddy Eric Durr. It has to be 10 years ago, we jumped on the Decap adventure. Yeah, I say the sloppy crew. Some people have been doing it a long time before us, obviously. I think Subaru people were one of the first I heard of through Mighty Car Mods and whatnot. So this is my guy Eric Durr. He does his own injector cleaning and flowing and measuring and everything. He doesn't sell anything. He only does cleaning, servicing, and whatnot. So he was a great person to team up with to get impartial data when we were decapping and doing all of the videos on that. I guess I could link those videos, but I thought it would be funny to decap. I don't know what is... Fire up my camera, and my throat is a mess. So, one of the viable options back in the day was like the Deca 80s and not much else, and we were like, we should try that whole decap game and see if it actually works. And we should get them checked somehow and whatnot, everything, etc. And Cameron, living near Eric Durr, meeting Eric Durr somewhere, I can't remember, he bought like Ford parts for him when he was Ford Motor for Life. We got hooked up with Eric to test them after you cut them apart and clean them, or just breeze the tip, actually. And we always recommend getting 2 sets and getting 16 total and trying to get at least one really good set. And what I did the other day is I was throwing out a bunch of intakes from engines, and I was like, hey, you know what? Decap needs to be revisited and just done for fun. So I took both intakes, all 16, decapped them. I'll show real quick. Real easy this time. Hand held it and used my 1/4 inch 90-degree whizzy wheel here and just held it and spun the injector in until the tip flew off. And one tip you might see in the pictures is I put a chamois boy down and had the grinding particles going into this. It was nice they didn't get, it cut down on 90% of the filth, but wanted to show that it was still viable. These are primarily very common injector in the late model intakes. Drop-in EV6 connector, as we would say, US car connector, and they all float about 75, 78 pounds. So he was able to get one set in the 1.92%, under 2% variance. And this set is around 3% dynamic, 2% static. So, well, they're both technically the same, I'm sorry. They're both around 3% dynamic and 2% static. But very tight, and you get this stuff done, and it's a very easy budget way to fuel a Don't BS Me build that is using very low ethanol content or pump gas. You can easily make 550 to the tire on E on gasoline and pump gas and ethanol, or a mix. Obviously, a mix is even easier on it with decaps. They'll work great for that, and it costs like $100. You could send the injectors in, and you're gonna have to ask Eric for his price. But it's right around $100 to have new baskets put in. So he pulls the inner basket filter out, and then he sonic cleans and flows them forward, backwards, and everything. And then, after he's done all the cleaning, obviously, he balances out sets, gives you all your information, etc., etc. But yeah, invaluable service. He's been doing it forever. True master of his craft. And great guy. Been helping out everybody on Sloppy for a long time. So give him a check out. If you haven't, I'll link the other videos for decapping. And even then we were sending stuff to Eric. But I wanted to quick revisit. That's still viable. You can still do it. A lot of people are asking me about injectors lately. And the one guy was being weird about buying Decas or something. Or I said, just decap what you have for a very low price. Get 2 sets, and if both aren't terrible or one injector isn't completely bad, etc., you could sell a set to the people on the Decap Facebook injector group, or anywhere, really. They are viable. They are worth it. You could almost get the injectors done for free. Yeah, you get the idea. If you get yourself a little bit of a deficit and pay your way out of it, well, 1/2 of your product, blah, blah, blah. Are we talking about drug sales or injectors? Either way, have a good night.